there friends, it's Ashley here from the Loopy Lamb and the loopylamb.com on behalf of our friends at Clover USA, and today I'm here to show you how to do the Tunisian Purl Stitch. This is one of my favorite Tunisian stitches. It's really easy to do and it beautifully recreates the look of knitting without having to know how to knit whatsoever. I cannot wait to show you guys how to do this. To follow along with today's tutorial, you're going to need your size 6 or J Clover Takumi Tunisian Crochet hook. You're not going to be needing your cable, just the hook for today, and a worsted weight yarn in your color and brand of preference. So let's grab our hooks, grab our yarn, and let's get started. To begin crocheting, you're going to need to create a slip knot. To do so, you'll take the tail end of your working yarn, pin it down, and wrap it around your fingers like so. Take your crochet hook, insert it under the first strand, over the second, and pull that second strand under the first and pull all of it off your fingers and onto your crochet hook, like so. Make sure you don't pull it too tight because you need it to be able to move up and down your hook. Now to create your foundation chain to do the Tunisian Purl Stitch, you'll need to chain the number of stitches that you would like to have in your project. So for today's tutorial, I'll be doing a chain 10 because I would like to have 10 stitches. And this can work in any multiple of stitches. So we'll yarn over and pull through the loop for 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And we'll keep going till we have 10. All right, and now we have our 10 chains. And for Tunisian, we're going to turn that chain over and we're going to identify those bumps on the back of our chain. And we're going to insert our hook into that bump on the chain. So we're going to, working into the second chain from the hook, insert your hook into the back bump, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Now remember, this is called the forward pass in Tunisian. So again, into the next chain, under that back bump, yarn over, pull up a loop, and we're going to do that all the way across our chain. And when you're doing the forward pass in Tunisian, you're picking up stitches. You're not going to be working them off of your hook yet. Okay, so I have picked up a loop in each of the chains that I created, and I now have 10 loops on my hook. And now we're going to begin our return pass. To do that, we will yarn over hook and pull through the first loop on our hook only. It's kind of like a chain 1. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2. And we'll do that all the way across our work until there's only 1 loop remaining on our hook. Okay, so that's how your work should look at this point. Now we're actually going to start doing the Tunisian Purl Stitch. What we've done here is create our foundation row. To start doing the purl stitch, you're going to need to push your yarn forward in front of your hook, and I do that by just taking my hook and putting it behind the yarn. Then we're going to insert our hook behind that vertical bar, like so. Then you have to bring your yarn back around the front of your work and back in behind your hook. Then yarn over and pull up loop. That's your first purl stitch. Now this motion might feel awkward at first, but with some practice, you'll get the motion down and it's actually quite fun to do after a while. So I'll show you again. You bring that yarn to the front, put your hook behind the yarn, insert your hook under that next vertical bar, bring your front yarn around the front and behind your hook again, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And we're going to do that with each of our vertical bars across, but when we get to that last stitch at the end, we're going to do something slightly different. So work all of the stitches that you've done and meet me back when you get to the last stitch that you need to work. Okay, so I have worked all of my stitches except for this one on the end. So when we get to this edge stitch, we want to identify the front and back bar of the edge, and it almost looks like a V, and you're going to insert your hook and pick up both strands, so both of those bars, and you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. And that's how you're going to do your edge stitch for the Tunisian purl stitch. And so we just finished our forward pass, and now we're going to do our return pass. And so to do that, you're going to yarn over and pull through one. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through two. Now this is called the standard return pass, and you're going to do this all the way across. Yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two. Keep doing that until you have one loop remaining on your hook. And that is how your work should look at this point. And you can see our purl stitches already taking shape. So to do consecutive rows of Tunisian purl stitch, you will repeat the rows that we did just a moment ago, and we will push that yarn to the front, insert our hook under that vertical bar, bring that yarn to the back, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Now continue to do this until your piece reaches your desired size, and I will come back and I'll show you how to bind off in the Tunisian purl stitch. All right, so when your piece is your desired size and you're ready to bind off, this is how you would bind off using the Tunisian purl stitch. Now, just watch your tension when you're doing this, because if you tighten up, your piece at the top will tend to curve inward. So you want to really watch your tension. So to start your bind off, you'd bring your yarn to the front, insert your hook into that vertical bar, bring your yarn back to the back, yarn over, and instead of pulling up a loop through just that one loop on your hook, you're going to pull that yarn through both loops on your hook, like so. And you're going to do that again all the way across your work. And I'll show you again. Bring your yarn to the front, insert your hook into that next vertical bar, yarn to the back, yarn over, and pull through both loops. Now when you get to that edge stitch, we're going to do something different, so work your way across and meet me back at the edge. Okay, we are at our edge stitch, and again we're going to turn our work and identify that front and back bar, insert our hook there, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then we're going to pull that loop through the loop that's on our hook. And now we're going to yarn over and pull through, and then you can pull your yarn all the way through and cut it, and that's how you bind off in the Tunisian purl stitch. You might notice that this piece does not curl like the other Tunisian stitches that we have explored so far, and I personally just really love this stitch, and I hope that you do too. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you, and we're always happy to help. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to this channel. Thanks so much for watching, friends. Happy hooking, and I'll see you next time.